Very good. Good morning, everyone. Amanda, if you would like to call the meeting to order.
Well, do you have the, are you able to share your screen with the verbiage?
To call the meeting to order, you can just call the meeting to order, but I will pull up.
Oh, that's right. We're not closed session.
Yeah.
So Northern Virginia Local Human Rights Committee will come to order 8:46 on June 15th, 2021.
Perfect. Thank you. If everyone can roll call to let us know who is in the meeting. And so I will start and then we'll have Lena. We'll go down our list. Ann Pasco, Regional Advocate, Region 2, Office of Human Rights.
Lena Hurt, IDDD Advocate for Region 2.
Perfect. Amanda?
Amanda Mullenbacher, Chair of the Human Rights Committee.
Ed?
Ed O'Brien, a volunteer on the committee.
Michael?
Michael Hill, committee member.
Farzana?
Farzana Kennedy, committee member.
Very good. Thank you all. You have the agenda in front of you. So we just need to, I have no changes to suggest to the agenda. We have the 6 individuals we're reviewing today. Just need a motion and a second and a roll call that you all approve the agenda. So if someone can make a motion.
Do we have to do training today?
No, we're
Since we have
just
such
gonna,
a full agenda.
yeah, no, as soon as people come out at 9 o'clock, we're ready. So there's nothing, there really is nothing that I had, just a couple review items, but no
Okay,
specific
cool.
training. Yeah.
And the next date for the next meeting is when? At the bottom it says January. Is it August or next January 2021?
Oh,
At least mine does.
no, you're right. My
Back to the
apologies.
future.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's August. You're right. My apologies. So we can make that
No
correction
biggie.
to the correction to the agenda that it is, let me pull that up.
17th, I think.
Yep, August 17th. You're exactly right. Thank you for that correction.
Says it's public information. Motion to approve agenda.
Thank you, Michael. All right. And so, Amanda, do you agree with the motion to approve the agenda?
I do.
Ed, do you agree?
I agree.
Michael, do you agree?
Yes, agree.
Farzana, do you agree?
Yes, agree.
Very good. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment so that I can find the minutes from our last meeting and pull those up. That will take me a moment, so please forgive me. If I have too many windows open, I'm very easily confused. So I'm gonna, oh, that's a subcommittee. I had the wrong one. My apologies. All right, let me go back to my meeting, find my screen share. So our last full meeting was in March. Here are the draft minutes from the, oh, my apologies, that's the wrong one.
Approved.
I shared the wrong ones. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, let me go back. Lots of windows open on my screen. Here we go. Let's try this one. All right, there we go. The draft minutes from the 3/16 meeting. Again, I'll just need a motion, a second, and then we'll roll call it. So this is for the, oh, wait, this is the wrong minutes. It was 4/28, wasn't it? Do we have a 4/28 meeting, Lena?
It was wasn't a full meeting, right?
The subcommittee, that was in May.
That was in May.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think we met in April then. I was right. That was the right minutes. My apologies. Well, if we need to look at it, we'll look at it again. We'll look at these and then we'll do the draft ones, the subcommittee. So anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes from the 3/16 meeting? Correction there.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 16th meeting.
Thank you.
Second. Third.
Amanda,
Agree.
Ed,
I agree.
Michael. Michael. Are you on, Michael? You have to agree. Farzana,
I agree.
thank you. Michael, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you agree to
Yes.
those? Thank you.
Agree, yes.
Thank you.
I'll let
All
review
right.
the all in favor, say aye.
Right. Hey, this isn't my rule. Let's be clear. All
I
right,
know,
so let's find our
Robert's
subcommittee.
rules.
So kudos to the subcommittee for being able to carry this off. These are the minutes to the subcommittee meeting, nice and short because we just had 2 people go over. So similar for the subcommittee, I need a motion, a second, and then we'll roll call it. Can I have a motion to approve the subcommittee?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the subcommittee.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
I agree.
And Amanda,
Agree.
Ed,
I agree.
Michael,
Agree.
Farzana,
Agree.
very good.
Who was the
Thank you.
second? Who was the second for that?
Amanda,
Okay. And what was the date on the subcommittee?
5/26.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's close all these unnecessary windows, to which there's a lot of them. All right, very good. So there's no one in the waiting room to make a public comment. Certainly anyone present at the meeting is welcome to make a public comment. So is there any public comments? Very good. The chair, I don't know that you have any announcements if you want to make any announcements, but it is an agenda item.
I have none.
Very good. So advocate report, you guys know that we've had some changes structurally. We've talked about this before, that there's a community team and there's a facilities team. And Jen Anglin, who's the 3rd advocate in Region 2, she's been splitting her time between the community and the facility, Northern Virginia Mental Health Institute. So they've hired a part-time position for that, and that person started yesterday, Ivana. And so she will be taking over that, and she'll join the facility team. And so Jen will be full-time in our community team, which we're excited about that. That doesn't change anything with you guys. It had the potential, because we have 3 LHRCs in the region. The 3rd LHRC was the hospital LHRC, but it mostly was designed to accommodate the facility. That's why they met monthly. And there was some concern whether they were going to absorb that LHRC or not, but we're going to maintain control over it. And so we'll continue to manage that LHRC because it does do a fair amount of community business along with facility business. So that will stay the same. So we will continue to have those 3 LHRCs that are, the community is accessible in Region 2. So nothing big there. I'm trying to think if there's any other major announcements. Lena, do you have anything?
No.
Okay, very good. The only training, and I think Michael and maybe Farzana, you may not have been here. So again, reminders that we're recording meetings and that they are, the link to the meeting after it's recorded is attached to the agenda, and the agenda is public, or the minutes rather, and the minutes are published on the Commonwealth calendar. So the meeting, this recording is available to the community at large if they want to view it. See my shining face. But just a reminder that the chat box is not we can't use it for voting. I think we had been in the past, but you cannot use it for voting, hence the roll call of the voting. And the chat box, if you don't do it right, can be viewable by all. So people should be mindful of comments that they put in the chat box because others can view them and you may have them viewing things you don't want them viewing. So we do ask for use of the chat box when we are making date suggestions for the next review, and we'll continue to do that because we do call it out and officially state what those are, but just again, be mindful what is put in the chat box. So that's my only training reminder for today. Did you have anything you want to train on, Michael?
No. Well, I do have one question. I don't know if this is a matter of record. Is it possible we can start getting any information to review sooner?
Yes.
Like this morning, I know you guys are busy doing all the admin work, or like maybe a week before, 5 days before, 3 days before, that's all.
No,
I mean,
fair.
there were 14 documents this morning.
Very fair point.
That's all.
No, and I appreciate that. And we were talking about how to structure them. And I realized when I was sending them that the renaming of the documents need to be named better with the individual's initials on, so you know what goes to who. So no, that's very fair point, and that is something
Yes.
that we will look to do. So thank you.
And any training material we could review ahead of time, so that way if we have questions when you're doing the training, we could, or else do the training annually. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, we still are working on that. I still like that idea. We just haven't been able to come up with that. The reopening of business has been an interesting transition. We are back out in the field now. Not fully out in the field, but majority out in the field for some of the primary things that we normally needed to be out in the field for. So no, I think that's a fair point to send materials in advance, absolutely.
Following up on what Michael's suggesting, and with regard to training, is there any way that you could direct us to a link, let's say a YouTube link or some sort of a video on training, so that we see that first, and then we have the training with you, so it becomes audiovisual?
Yeah. So those trainings are not the ones that we go over. They haven't been recorded, but you make a fair point, Ed, that a lot of the trainings that are done and conducted by the Office of Human Rights now have been recorded and are placed on YouTube. So I think it's a great suggestion to send out to all LHRC members, in particular the Human Rights Regulations Review and the Restraints Restrictions Review training. They're on YouTube. You can watch them at your leisure, you know, because they're about an hour and a half long. So I will send the links out. I think that that's a great suggestion. I know my internet is unstable, so if I'm not coming in clearly, I apologize.
No,
But-
you're fine so far.
Oh, good, thanks. So it's such an affront to tell me I'm unstable and, you know, on my computer. So I will
You or
send
the
those.
internet.
Yeah, I will send those links out. That's a good suggestion. I hadn't thought about that, so thank you. We can absolutely do that. I don't think there's any old business or new business. The only new business is the individuals that we're reviewing today, and we're right on time to admit our individuals. So what I'm going to pull up is the reading in of the closed session. And so Amanda can read that, and then we'll do a roll call vote that you're all in agreement. And then once that is done, I will hit pause on the recording. So Amanda, if you want to read into closed session.
Sure. Whereas the Northern Virginia Regional Local Human Rights Committee desires to discuss in closed session client-related matters, and whereas pursuant to VA Code 2.1-344A, paragraph 15, for the protection of the privacy of individuals and their records and personal matters not related to public business, such discussions may occur in closed session. Now therefore be it resolved that the Northern Virginia Regional Local Human Rights Committee does hereby authorize discussions of the aforestated matters in closed session.
Very good. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. And just affirming, Amanda?
Agree.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Ed, Michael,
Agree.
Farzana?
Agree.
Agree.
Perfect, very good. And I'm going to stop sharing and pause recording. So we are going to come out of closed session, and I'm going to have Amanda, if you can read that for us, please.
Whereas the Northern Virginia Regional Local Human Rights Committee has this day adjourned into closed session in accordance with a formal vote of the committee and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas the Freedom of Information Act requires certification that such closed session was conducted in conformity with the law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Northern Virginia Regional Local Human Rights Committee does hereby certify that to the best of their knowledge, only matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements and only such matters for the protection of the privacy of the individuals and their records and personal matters not related to public business were heard, discussed, or considered.
Very good. Can I have a second?
Second?
I second it.
Thank you. So when I call your name, if you can indicate so certified, Amanda.
So certify.
Thank you. Ed,
So certified.
Michael,
So certified.
thank you. Farzana,
So certify.
perfect, thank you. We're back in open session. So we have two things to approve in open session is the recommendations of the subcommittee from the May meeting. I guess Fred. So I'm going to review those two. Again, we'll do a motion and then approval of that. So at the subcommittee meeting, there was a recommendation for SC to return on 8/17, and there was a recommendation for GO to return in November, but that recommendation is no longer needed as there are no restrictions that need to be reviewed by the LHRC. So the only real recommendation is for SC to return on 8/17. If I can have a motion for the subcommittee recommendations.
Motion.
Thank you, Amanda. Can I have a second? Thank you, Ed. And if you're in agreement, just say yes. Amanda,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Farzana.
Yes.
Very good. And then I'll review the recommendations from today. Keep my paper separate. So we have individual number 1, they're returning on September 22nd. We have individual number 2 returning on September 22nd. Individual number 3 returning on September 22nd. Individual number 4 returning on September 22nd. Individual number 5 returning on September 22nd. Individual number 6 returning on September 22nd. There are no specific clinical recommendations. We do understand that there will be revisions based on conversations today, but no specifics to those revisions. Can I have a motion for the acceptance of the committee's recommendations today?
Motion.
Motion for acceptance.
Okay, Michael, thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ed. And again, a yes if you're in agreement. Amanda,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes. Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Farzana?
Yes.
Very good. Let me share the agenda to make sure that there's no other items that require our review. So we have reviewed the recommendations and agreed with those. If there's no other matters, then we can call the meeting adjourned. Is there any other items that need to be discussed? If not, then
I have a quick housekeeping question.
of course.
I noticed earlier Amanda sent out an email looking for the link. If possible, could you put the link and password, which I believe is the same every time, right? In the
Yeah, it's
body
just-
of the email?
Oh, you
instead
want
of
it
the
in
Word
emails
document?
instead of on the agenda?
I
Sure,
don't know if you're allowed to do that.
I can do that. I can do it. I just know it's on the
Or both,
agenda,
yeah,
so I
whatever.
don't,
Just
yeah.
say
Okay.
steps.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Right, but she couldn't find it this morning. I know she emailed.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Michael.
That's all.
Yep, I
All
can
good.
do that. Yep, I can do it. That's a good suggestion. Thank you. Yep, that can be done. Otherwise, Amanda, you can call the meeting closed, having no further business to be conducted.
So we will adjourn at 10:39 on 6/15/21.
Very good. I don't believe I need seconds since the agenda is covered, so very good. And I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to stop recording.